12th August 2025. Yes, today may mark a decisive turn in the Dharmasthala investigation. A high capability ground penetrating radar, the same class of technology routinely used in Indian border security and underground infrastructure work, was rolled onto site number 13. Unlike a dig, GPR is non invasive. It sees under the surface, mapping voids and anomalies so forensic teams can target excavations precisely and preserve fragile evidence. The Special Investigation Team has said the scan will guide any future excavations at the site. Let's see how and why does this matter. Earlier digs around Dharmasthala provided a mixture of discoveries and dead ends, skeletal fragments at some locations, nothing at others, leaving families with more questions than answers. The arrival of this GPR changes how the probe proceeds. It removes a large part of guesswork and reduces the risk of missing deeply buried evidence or destroying contextual material crucial to a criminal inquiry. But the technology's presence also sharpens a darker narrative playing out alongside the forensic work. Allegations that powerful actors tried to delay or obstruct access to advanced equipment. Lawyers and complainants have raised claims about an artificial shortage of GPR devices, which we have mentioned earlier in our videos, during earlier phases of the investigation, accusations that, if proven, would point to an active campaign to hinder evidence collection. For the families seeking truth, that allegation is as serious as any physical finding. At the same time, the legal fight over who can report the case has been volatile. 11th of August, the Karnataka High Court disposed of a petition by the News Minute parent company after a trial court refused to extend a previous ex parte gag order that had restrained media reporting on certain parties connected to that temple. The court action and the broader series of legal filings has shaped what the public can know and when. And while the court decided on press limits, the field has been increasingly unsafe. Local journalists and YouTubers covering the probe were assaulted while filming near investigation sites. Attacks that survivors and press bodies linked to a group locally identified as the D Gang. Multiple reports describe a coordinated confrontation, cameras smashed, crews chased and roughed up. And one cameraman from a private channel identified as belonging to marginalized community, an element that has drawn contamination from civil society groups calling for swift arrest and application of strict laws too. Police have arrested at least one person, but eyewitnesses and civic leaders say many more were involved. The alleged attackers are not faceless. Local reporting describes the so-called D-Gang as an organized cluster of drivers and supporters who, according to some accounts, confronted reporters accusing them of spreading false propaganda. Community leaders and opposition parties have framed the violence as an attempt to intimidate media and silence scrutiny. Civil rights groups have lodged formal complaints and sought accountability. These clashes complicate the investigation. They put witnesses, journalists, and activists at risk and risk turning a criminal probe into a volatile public confrontation. So, what happens next? The GPR survey at Site 13 will produce a map of anomalies, signatures of potential voids, disturbed soil, or compact layers consistent with burials. If those anomalies are conclusive, the SIT will be empowered to open a careful, forensically controlled excavation at marked spots. Any findings would be recorded, photographed, and sent for forensic dating and DNA testing. If the scans finds nothing, it will at least provide for its clarity and allow the SIT to rule the site out without destructive digging. But the probe's technical progress will mean little if field journalists remain at risk or if legal manuals keep key questions obscure. The High Court's disposition of the News Minute petition clears one avenue of reporting, but legal fights over gag orders, contempt claims, and defamation suits continue to swirl. Equally pressing is the need for local policing to ensure that investigative teams, court witnesses, and the press can operate free from interference, whether by intimidation, physical assault, or obstructed mob action. For families who have come forward, the stakes are simple and immediate: names, dates, graves. For the public, the stakes are about whether an impartial, thorough investigation can overcome obstruction, intimidation, and legal throttling. Today's GPR readout will tell us something concrete about what lies beneath Site 13, hopefully, and fingers crossed. But whether that result translates into prosecution's accountability or public closure will depend on whether institutions, courts, police, and forensic teams can carry the work forward in the face of pressure. We will continue to follow the GPR results, the SIT's next steps, and the accountability for assaults on the press. This is Ink Without Fear by Chandni. We'll bring you the scan results as soon as they are verified, and we'll keep asking the question everyone here is asking. Will truth finally be allowed to surface? Let's see. Stay tuned with us.